Hi there, Gemini. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Yetta Pearl, and this is your angel reading for July 26th through August 1st. So, whoa, okay, big mess here. Hang on. I'll have to pick everything up. I think it's all in this order. One more. There we go. Okay, and then there's this one. So this is a general reading. So know that some parts of this may not resonate with you. Either way, it's all perfect. And just the parts that don't resonate with you are just for somebody else. That's all. So right before I start the actual reading, I talk with all the guardian angels for all the Geminis all over the world and ask them what messages they want to be, broadcast today for this week. And so then they come through and they use the cards, they choose which decks, and they choose which cards out of the decks to give the right message. So we're just about, there we go, there's the last card there. Okay. Wow, this looks really awesome. Okay. So I did today's world energy reading just a short while ago, and these three cards are what were part of that. And so I'm just asking, did they intend these to all be here? And they're like, yes, this is the big message for today. So, okay, so we'll just go with this. Oh, and so they're saying, most of the time, the card is just a trigger, and then the rest of the real message comes through intuitively. And so they're saying some of that's going to be different than what the world energy was. So, okay, perfect. All right, so let's start here. Cycles and rhythms. So they want you to know that right now, if everything feels really difficult or really confusing or feels like you're just not sure, that will pass. Everything goes in a cycle, right? So for a while, everything's fabulous, and then for a while, not as much maybe, and then it gets fabulous again. Like everything is in cycles, and of course, everything in between fabulous and not, right? And so just recognizing that no matter what is happening right now, it is not going to last forever. So if you're really treasuring these moments, make sure you do, do whatever you have to keep them close to your heart, the good stuff, right? And anything that is not so great, it's okay, it's temporary. Just go with the flow and keep your spirits up, keep your vibration high, keep your outlook as positive as you possibly can, and then everything is going to, it's going to go through its cycle. That's how it works. Same is true for the earth right now. We're going through a cycle. So, okay. All right. So, yeah, it looks really good actually. So, whatever's going on right now, you may find that there's a challenge for you. Let's see. It feels fairly small. It's like it doesn't feel like a big group or anything like that. It feels kind of like an individual and there's a fly landing on me. There's an individual in your life who is it's like they feel like their job is to contradict you or to wake you up or something along those lines. It's their job they think it's their job to always provide an opposing point of view to yours. They can do that. They can totally do that. It has nothing to do with you. And there will be an opportunity for you to indicate that to them, right? This is not personal for you. And you know within your own self what is true for you, right? Okay, and so they're saying for some of you, this isn't even a direct challenge or anything like that. They're saying it's just somebody who's kind of wanting some scenario to happen, or they're they're angling for something. They're trying to bring you along on their path, but it's just not necessary. You don't need to. There's no reason for you to change what you're doing or how you're thinking or feeling. You can just be very certain of your own self that you're where you need to be and you're accomplishing what you need to accomplish. It's all good. No reason to change. Okay, the children. The children, the beautiful children. So they're showing me this picture. It's a beautiful summer day. The sun is shining. It's not too hot, not too cold. And you're in a park and the kids are all playing. What does that sound like? All the kids laughing and screaming and having fun and running around, chasing each other, playing on equipment and stuff. That's what they're showing me. The innocence, the fun, the exhilaration of children, the immediate living in the moment of children. It's beautiful. And we can all take a lot of lessons from watching and doing what the children are doing, you know. Yeah, and so there's more to this story. So this is also your own self. So have you been playing lately? Have you been living in the moment? Have you been letting yourself just enjoy what's happening right now? Or are you always thinking about what's going to come up and that's ruining your fun for right now, right? So your angels are definitely like, please don't let anything ruin your fun. This is the whole point of life, is to have fun. Enjoy yourself. Have a good time. Whatever it takes, right? Now, the card itself says, you are good at healing, counseling, and healing children. Pardon me, you're good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. Certainly, for some of you, that is true. You're maybe in those professions, you know, social work, pediatrician, nurse, you know, whatever it is, right? Daycare, teaching, and so you're going to do your best all the time to be there for those kids and to recognize what they need and things like that. That is a fairly small group of you, it feels like, because they just kind of brought that to my attention later. Most of this message has to do with being lighthearted and taking the fun where you can find it. I mean, we forget how to do that once we're adults, right? So let's remember how to do that. Independent. You are independent. You have been for a long time. You go your own way. You do your own thing. You do let the dictates of society and family guide you to doing things that are family oriented, and you do like that. You know, there's nothing that says you don't like that, but you are a very independent type of person, and good. You know, it has always stood you in good stead. You've always worked well that way. And so the same continues to be true. There's a circumstance or something coming up. It feels like it's not quite here yet, where somebody will it's like they have always been depended upon, and so they're expecting you to depend upon them, but you won't really. And so, like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's totally fine. You don't have to. And they will learn that you don't need them in that way. And so that'll be a really great learning experience for them as well. There's something about that you have been dependent. They're talking different groups of people here, right? There's many different Geminis. So for some of you, you have been dependent upon other people for a long, long time. And not necessarily to do with money or whatever. Like, it feels very much like you're great at making your own living, right? So it doesn't feel like they're talking about that. They're talking about the people in your life. Perhaps it's a spouse, perhaps it's a good friend, perhaps it's other types of family or whatever, that you have been dependent upon them, and you have this itch. You want to experience life differently without your dependence upon them. And so some of you, you're kind of like, it's tempting to almost blame it on the other person, where it's really not that. It's something that you grew into together, right? So if you want to be less dependent, that is up to you. So start doing more of your own things. And maybe you want to go to the movies, but they never want to. Well, go anyway without them. Like, they don't have to go. Maybe you don't want to go alone, so okay, find a different friend to go with you or something like that. Or maybe you're fine with going alone. Definitely do that. And, of course, if it's a spouse at home or something, you're going to say, well, this is what I'm doing. But go ahead and do that then. And no moping about because they don't want to come with you, right? If you're going to be independent, then be independent. So there's no kind of in between. This is not their fault. Neither is it your fault. There is no fault. It's simply an evolution. It's one of these cycles, right? And it feels like you've actually been wanting to do this for quite a while, but it's time. Everything will still function. Your world will not fall apart when you do this. So go ahead, be your own person, do your own things, do what you're wanting to do in the moments, and in that way your life will grow and expand and be more fulfilling for you. I'm being shown that some of you think that that's going to drive a wedge or space in between you and somebody significant. It has that potential. It does have that potential. If you don't want that, then you're the one who can change that, but not by denying your own independence. Still do this, but then take other moments out of the day to reinforce that relationship in a different way. You can do it all. And it really will lead to a lot of autonomy, which is a beautiful way to be. Yes. Okay, so you have options. You have choices. Do you feel like you're at a crossroads right now? There's things coming up, opportunities, different paths that you could follow. So for some of you, this is definitely an either or situation. You do have to pick one. Follow your gut is what your angels are saying. Tap into your inner wisdom. See what it is, which one feels best in spite of other people's advice and other people's point of view. Just follow your own gut instinct. For others, it feels very much like you have several opportunities or options, and there's no reason to just choose one. You can do more than one. For sure, it'll take some work, some diligence, some they're showing me like kind of fatigue in a way, but it's not insurmountable. It's nothing that you can't handle. It's nothing, and it feels temporary. Feels like some of this is only lasts this long, and then there's a whole bunch of benefit after. That's what it feels like. So you have different options. Now on this card they talk about career, but that's just because this is the life purpose deck, and so that's what this is kind of geared towards. But it's a trigger. So these could be career oriented. They could be home. Feels like for some of you this is your home, and even so somebody is making a choice in what style of home. So there's a heritage home, or there's a modern home, or there's a vintage home, or those kinds of things, and you have options that way. So just feel which one feels the best to you. And you can be quirky, and you can decorate one room this way and one room that way. They don't always have to match. You can do what you want. It's all good. Okay, these options are yours, and it feels like there really isn't a bad one. there's some that suit you better than others, but they're all going to lead you where you're going. In fact, that's the best question to ask yourself. Will this lead me to, whatever it is that your direction is? Or is it going to take me off somewhere else? That's a good question. And answering that will help you if you have to make a decision. Use your creativity. So, sorry, I just bumped my camera, made a big mess there. Anyway, use your creativity and change things up. Make things lighter. It's like dusting off the dusting off the fake flowers. I don't know who needed to hear that, but that's funny. Lighten things up. Get rid of the fake flowers, and because it's the time for fresh flowers. It is summertime. That's awesome. But use some creativity, change things up, make yourself feel better. Just take a class, whatever it takes, right? Or build something, or otherwise create something. You're gonna feel a lot better for having done that. And the whole basis of the whole thing, you are definitely on the right track. I mean, follow your heart. You're doing what you need and want and love to do in your life. And so, career-wise, maybe you're no longer even interested in being in a career, but you're still there for financial reasons or for, some other whatever's going on. It's okay, because that's leading you to the good stuff at the end. It maybe feels like quite a chore right now to be going there doing that, all that stuff. But it's the outcome is going to make it all worth it. So for right now, still do that, and use your creativity in other areas of your life, and consider the options that you do have because you're still doing that, right? Otherwise, you probably wouldn't have those same options. It would be smaller. Life would be smaller without that. You're kind of chomping at the bit, is what it feels like. So, here we go. Last bit. Blessing in disguise. Okay, so there's something that has happened, is about to happen. Timing is a little bit different for some of you. It's going to feel like a step backwards, or that, oh man, how come that's not working? How come it's so difficult? Whatever. It's on purpose. That is not for you. If you did that, it would not turn out well. So whichever, is this one of these options that they're talking about? No, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like something kind of sliding in sideways. It's a different thing, something else coming in that you're gonna feel like it's an obstacle. You're gonna feel like it tripped you, and it did. That is truth, but it's on purpose. It's to your benefit. Okay, beautiful reading. Okay, Gemini, can you help me, please? Let's send a whole bunch of beautiful love energy to the whole world. Let's get all of us feeling good, because that's the goal. Just feel good. Awesome. Thank you. I'm receiving. That feels so good. Oh my gosh. All right, Gemini, thank you. I appreciate you. I love you, and I'll see you next week.